All right, today we are diving deep into one of the most powerful and, let's be honest, one of the most terrifying novels ever written, George Orwell's 1984. This isn't just a story, it's a warning. A profound warning about power, truth, and what can happen to human freedom. Right from the very first sentence, Orwell tells you something is deeply, deeply wrong. The clocks were striking 13. It's such a small detail, but it's jarring, right? It immediately throws you off balance and lets you know that the reality you're about to step into is not the one you know. It's twisted.
So, where are we? We're in London, but this isn't the London of postcards. It's been renamed Airstrip 1, and it's just a small province in a massive totalitarian superstate called Oceania. The whole place is grim, it's falling apart, and everywhere you look, there are these huge, intimidating government buildings.
And then there's this. This phrase is everywhere. Plastered on posters, staring down from every corner, Big Brother is watching you. The thing is, it's not a threat. It's just a simple statement of fact. In this world, the very idea of privacy is gone. It has been totally and completely erased.
And how are they watching? Well, this is the main tool right here, the telescreen. Think of it like a television that you can never, ever turn off. And not only does it pump out government propaganda 24/7, it's also watching and listening to you. Every single sound you make, every move, it's all being monitored.
But here's where it gets even more terrifying. The telescreens are for watching what you do. The regime's real power comes from policing what you think. They're called the thought police, and the worst crime you can possibly commit is something called a thought crime.
So how in the world does a state get that much control? Well, it starts by controlling reality itself, and for that, we need to look at the brilliantly and ironically named Ministry of Truth.
You just have to appreciate the genius of what Orwell did here. The Ministry of Truth, its whole job is to create lies. The Ministry of Peace, it runs the endless war. The Ministry of Love is where they torture you. And the Ministry of Plenty, well, it makes sure everyone is on the brink of starvation. It's a masterclass in psychological warfare, forcing people to accept things that are the complete opposite of what they're called.
And this right here, this slogan, is the master key to how the party operates. Think about it. If you can change the history books whenever you want, you can make any new action seem justified. The past isn't a fixed thing anymore. It's just whatever the party needs it to be today.
And the most extreme example of this control? It's a process called vaporization. This isn't just about killing someone who disagrees with you. It's about erasing them from existence entirely. Every record, every photo, every mention of them is wiped clean until they become an unperson. It's not that they died, it's that they were never even born.
But you know, even controlling all of history isn't enough. If you want to lock down power forever, you have to go deeper. You have to get inside people's heads and control the very way they think. So that was the party's ultimate goal. How do you stop a person from even having a rebellious thought in the first place? Their solution was both brilliant and absolutely horrifying. They decided to rebuild the entire English language. It's called Newspeak.
And here's the logic, straight from a character in the book. The real goal of Newspeak isn't just to control what people say. It's to make it impossible for them to even form a complex, rebellious idea. Because if you don't have the words for something like freedom, how can you even think about it?
And you can see how it works here. You don't need a word like bad when you can just say ungood. Excellent? No, that's just double plus good. The language gets smaller and simpler every year. And those really dangerous ideas, those big concepts like liberty or justice, the words are just gone. By shrinking the dictionary, they shrink your consciousness.
Okay, so to get people to live in this world of contradictions, you have to train their minds to perform a very specific kind of mental gymnastics. Orwell called it doublethink. It is the learned ability to hold two ideas in your head that you know are complete opposites and to believe in both of them at the same time. And these three slogans, they are the perfect example of doublethink in action. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. You are expected to see these phrases every single day and just accept them as truth, without question. It's a kind of required, controlled insanity. So this all leads us to the biggest question of all. Why? Why would anyone go to these insane lengths to control every single thing about a person's life? What is the end game here?
And that's the exact question that torments the book's main character, Winston Smith.
He sees the how everywhere he looks, the surveillance, the lies, all of it, but he just can't wrap his head around why. What is the motivation for all this cruelty?
And then he finds out. In the Ministry of Love, the answer is laid bare, and it's devastatingly simple. There is no higher purpose. There's no utopia they're trying to build. The party is not doing this for the good of the people. They are doing it for one reason and one reason only: power.
I mean, they're not even trying to hide it. This quote says it all. For the party, power isn't a tool you use to achieve something else. Power is the goal. The revolution wasn't for some grand ideal. The revolution was just the way to grab control and establish the dictatorship. And it gets even darker than that. How do you actually feel and express that power? The party's answer is by making other people suffer. Real power for them is about inflicting pain and humiliation. It's about breaking someone's mind completely and then rebuilding it in your own image. And this is it. This is the party's honest-to-God vision for the future of humanity. It's not a temporary face. It's a boot on a face forever. It is without a doubt one of the most bleak and unforgettable images in all of literature.
Now you have to remember, Orwell wrote this way back in 1949. Technology was a completely different world, and yet his warnings about power, truth, and technology feel more relevant now than they ever have.
I mean, just listen to that quote. It is absolutely stunning how right he was. He was talking about a two-way television, but doesn't that sound an awful lot like our phones, our laptops, or smart speakers? He basically predicted a future where the very same tools we use for fun and communication would become tools for surveillance, and that private life would effectively come to an end.
And so that leaves us with the final haunting question of 1984. And it's not a question for a fictional world. It's a question for us right now. In our world of social media bubbles, alternative facts, and deep fakes, how do we hold on to what's real? Orwell's book isn't just a dystopian story. It's an urgent warning and a question we have to ask ourselves every single day.